Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I just learned something really interesting that I want to share with you. I was watching this NFL Films documentary on the performance by Prince at halftime of Super Bowl 41. What I learned watching this, and I'll link this video in the description, you can watch it yourself. I'd play the clip, but I could get a copyright strike, and I don't want that. The first time it ever rained at a Super Bowl was Super Bowl 41, where Prince performed Purple Rain. The 40 Super Bowls prior had never experienced rain. That's because they're typically in warm weather locations. They always want a nice weather location for the Super Bowl. How interesting is it that the first time it ever rained was Super Bowl 41, where Prince was the halftime show performing Purple Rain? Look at this. The date of the Super Bowl was February 4th, 2007. That's an interesting date for Purple Rain and the first time ever rain at the Super Bowl. That date, February 4th, can be written 2/4 or 4/2. The word rain in gematria sums to both 24 and 42. Rain equals 42, so does Freemason, so does February. February, the only month with 42 gematria, Black History Month. 42, a number stamped on black people throughout history. With regards to Freemason, rain, February, Purple Rain has gematria 58, just like Freemasonry, just like secret society. Prince just died on a date with 41 numerology in 2016. Again, he performed at Super Bowl 41, Purple Rain. Dead on a date with 41 numerology on the Queen of England's birthday. Notice that Queen of England is 58, like Purple Rain. And of course, purple represents royalty. The Queen, think about the name Prince. The date of the performance was a date with 33 numerology. The number of Freemason obsession is 33, February 4th, 2007, date with 33 numerology. We saw Prince die 33 years after the recording of Purple Rain, which was in 1983. The album released in 1984 on June 25th, which is George Orwell's birthday, who wrote the book 1984. Anyhow, Prince recorded that album in 83. He would die 33 years later. By the numbers, he died on the Queen of England's birthday, and the Queen turned 90 the day Prince died at age 57. The difference between 90 and 57 is 33, right? Prince was born June 7th, 1958, a date with 90 numerology, dead on the Queen's birthday, her 90th. Check this out. Prince died at 57. The word England has gematria 57. We're going to talk about how New England went on to win the Super Bowl after the death of Prince in their 57th season. But notice that England also has gematria of 33. So does Niagara, so does 90. The Queen of England was 90 the day Prince died. They lit up Niagara Falls purple. The media had to put out a story saying, sorry for the confusion. This tribute of Purple Niagara Falls is for the Queen's 90th birthday, not for the death of Prince. Because a lot of people were asking, how did they get this tribute out so fast to Prince the day of his death? What stood out to me right away is that Vanity, Prince's girlfriend, had died just before the 58th Grammys, and she's from Niagara Falls. She's from that town. She was a beauty queen there. Prince's former girlfriend, who died just before the 58th Grammys last February 2016. I put out a video the day after she died showing why Prince might likely die next. Prince would die by the exact numbers I talked about in that video. So something else interesting about Niagara Falls, in Gematria, it sums to 223 in reverse. Number of Freemasonry, Masonic equals 223. So does the Synagogue of Satan, the name for the false Jews said to rule in the end times, who control the media, the recording industry, and so much more. We call them the Zionist Jews. Look at the Gematria purple in reverse. 74, like Masonic, like Jewish, like killing, like halftime, purple rain, for the halftime performance. Last year when Prince died, it was exactly 74 days after Super Bowl 50, which was the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. 46 is interesting because the word sacrifice equals 46. Vanity equals 46. She died on the 46th day of the year, Prince's former girlfriend. The Super Bowl stadium for Super Bowl 50, the 46th of the modern era. Levi's Stadium equals 46. Just a little side note. So Prince died 74 days after Super Bowl 50. Real quick, just a reminder about purple. Purple also has gematria of 88, like Elizabeth, the name of the Queen of England. Purple rain, royal family. The name Trump has gematria of 88. Remember, Donald Trump had his convention 88 days after the Queen's birthday, July 18th, coming out to Queen, we are the champions. Word Jewish also has gematria of 88. Jewish Zionists, again, running the show by the numbers, gematria, a Jewish practice. So here's the day Prince died. April 21st, 2016, a date with 41 numerology. Remembered for performing Super Bowl 41, halftime show in the rain, first time ever. Super Bowl also has gematria 41. The day Prince died was April 21st, 2016, which was a leap year. In leap years, April 21st is the 112th day of the year. And I talked about this the day he died, but what I did not know then was reverse ordinal gematria. And lo and behold, look at the gematria of Super Bowl in reverse ordinal, 112. This past year, Super Bowl 51 was in Houston. Houston equals 112. I just got to show you a side note here that you might appreciate. Prince performed when the Colts won the Super Bowl, who have on the side of their helmet a horseshoe. Horseshoe. 112, right? Horseshoe, also 41. Interesting. The current quarterback of the Colts is Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck equals 112, and his mother's name is Kathy Luck, which also sums to 112. The Colts played this year in Houston, which hosted the Super Bowl, exactly 112 days before the Super Bowl. And that's significant because Andrew Luck, who plays for the Colts, played his high school ball in Houston. This season, or just before the season began, the owner of the Colts, who's Jim Irsay, let me write his name up here. Jim Irsay, look at the numbers. Jim Irsay bought Prince's guitar that he used in Super Bowl 41 on the anniversary of the album Purple Rain. That purchase came on June 25th, 2016, 32 years from Purple Rain being released, 33 years from it being recorded. Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, who was the owner of the Colts when Prince performed at Super Bowl 41. So anyway, Prince died on the 112th day of the year. This year, the Super Bowl was in Houston, which was won by New England in their 57th season. And again, England equals 57. Prince dead at 57. When you write out 57 as a word, it sums to the same thing as Super Bowl, the same thing as championship. World Series equals 57. Prince died just before the 112th World Series that ended on November 2nd, 11/2. NBA Finals equals 57. Prince's cause of death was released Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Muhammad Ali would die the next day at age 74. who became boxing champion in '64, the last time the city of Cleveland won a pro sports championship. I predicted Muhammad Ali's death in 2014 at age 74, the age he died at. Just like I predicted Prince's death in February, months before he did die. And I said Prince's death would likely be coming soon. So game 1 of the NBA Finals. They released Prince's cause of death. They said it was fentanyl. And look at the gematria of fentanyl, matching up with Prince and death. And it was the 97th season of the NFL upcoming, which ended up being won by the Patriots. Bill Belichick equals 97. 97's the 25th prime. Patriots had the record 25-point comeback. Tom Brady got his 25th playoff win, also winning the 25th Super Bowl for the AFC and a record 25-point comeback on 2/5. Everything is scripted and planned out long in advance. These celebrities, from Prince to Tom Brady, are born to be. So anyway, Prince said all we could go by in this world is prophecy. Prophecy. The word prophecy has gematria of 52. It also has gematria of 106. They opened up Prince's house as a museum on October 6th, 10/6. October, the only month with 33 gematria. Next year, Minnesota, where Prince died, is hosting Super Bowl 52. Prince said all we could go by is prophecy. Next year, Tom Brady has a chance to win his 6th Super Bowl in Minnesota. It'll be the 98th season of the NFL next year. Tom Brady, 98. Notice the 118 too. Check this out. Patriots, 118 and 98. What's the kryptonite for Tom Brady? It's Eli Manning. I won't be surprised if we see Tom Brady beat Eli Manning in Minnesota for Super Bowl 52. Again, earning his 6th Super Bowl. You see? So Prince, like I said the day he died, his death connected to the sports championships, connected to the Super Bowl. The more we learn, the more clearly we see. His death is also likely connected to the Super Bowl to be played this year in Minnesota, and I won't be surprised if there's a huge Prince tribute at halftime. You know, I bet you whoever performs plays a song for Prince. Minnesota 52, Prophecy 52. Last year, just before they opened the stadium, Denny Green died July 21st, exactly 52 days before the start, Game 1 of the Minnesota Vikings season, who will be hosting Super Bowl 52. All things I documented in the past. Also interesting, Prince, the day he died, April 21st, was 47 days before his birthday. Last year was Super Bowl 51, which was the 47th Super Bowl of the modern era. The first Super Bowl was in the 47th season of the NFL. He died 74 days after Super Bowl 50, 47 days before his own birthday. In very ritualistic fashion, the man who said, "I would die for you," with the number 4 and the letter U, way before anyone was talking that way. That was way before the internet, before text message, before instant messaging. Nobody was talking that way, writing out 4 for 4, writing out U for you. Number 4, letter U, use the 21st letter, that's 421, just like the day he died. You know? Purple Rain on the album, I Would Die for You. First man to perform in the rain at a Super Bowl. On the perfect date. For anyone who's asking how could that be, you could call it magic, you know, like a Native American rain dance, or you could look into the reality of the world we live in, where the U.S. government, after the Vietnam War, testified that they had been making it rain on Vietnam during the time of the war. Go look it up. They called it cloud seeding. The U.S. government learned how to do something they called cloud seeding, which brings rain. And the reason they had it rain all over the Vietnamese soldiers was because they were, bound by foot. They had a lot of underground tunnels. I mean, imagine all the rain. They say in the time of the Vietnam War, it rained more than 50%. And it's already a rainy climate. They increased the rain level by more than 50%. So imagine all that extra rain, flooding the tunnels they'd built, making it hard for them to get around by foot. Swampy jungle. Vietnam War was about 50 years before this, half a century before this. Well, not quite that, but nearly. So just think about it. The government knows how to make rain. You think about the Super Bowl, the NFL, it is the military. They always have a military flyover before the Super Bowl, nonstop military advertising during football games. We were talking about 1984, George Orwell. In that book, it's a book about a futuristic nation ruled over by propaganda and war. It says all it took to control the people was beer, football, and gambling. Purple Rain, released on George Orwell, the author of 1984's birthday. And did Michael Jackson die on George Orwell's birthday? Because Michael Jackson was also born in 58. Let's just check real quick. Sometimes I forget these things. Michael Jackson, date of death. Whoops. He did die on George Orwell's birthday. The anniversary of the release of Purple Rain. 25 years. He died 25 years after. They started the Korean War on this birthday, too, or on this day in history as well, if I'm not mistaken. George Orwell, there he is, June 25th. So there it is, Truth Seeker. Another lesson. The more we learn, the more we uncover. Prince, a definite ritual. Definitely connected to the sports championships. And definitely planned way in advance. At least 33 years in advance. Just like September 11th. Remember, 1968, 33 years before 2001, 911 made the national emergency dialing code. World Trade Center construction began. George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. From Bush's birthday to 9/11, 68 days. Something else, Truth Seeker. Until next time.